Let me tell you the difference between a step 3 and a step 1. Step 1 is you file a grievance and it goes through here, through the channel, and they reject it. And it never goes up. But you can do a step 3 by bypassing the channel. You have 3 people or more sign the grievance, and it goes straight to New York City Office of Labor Relations. And they have to respond. They have to. They don't do that, okay? Now, another problem I hear that you have, I'm gonna tell you how we facilitate that. If you have a sergeant that has a problem with a lieutenant, or a lieutenant has a problem with a sergeant, or a sergeant has a problem with an officer, and an officer has a problem with rank, you get 2 different lawyers, okay? Now, that's only if you have what we call charges against each other. You have to understand, a lieutenant and a sergeant has to do their job. If you do something wrong, they're gonna bring you up on charges. That doesn't mean you have to turn around and say, well, he's picking on me. Sometimes he will. And we'll address that, okay? When we took over for DP, we have filed numerous EEOs for discrimination. I don't care. I don't farm it out. I don't tell you you don't have a case. We file it, okay? And Yolanda Moore tell you she became the first black female sergeant ever in DP. And we had to file a human rights complaint to get that done, okay? So when I talk about doing what's right, now he talks about this lawsuit that you have out. Okay?
Please.
Let me address that to you.
Bring it on.
No, hey. I want to address it because some people believe in the carrot.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, just logically, okay? We're all logical people in here. If I know you're not getting paid what you deserve, why the hell would I sign another contract?
Exactly. That's true.
Think about what he's doing. He's signing the contracts, then he's spending your money to hire these attorneys to say, oh, we're discriminating against the women. Now, if I'm a male officer on this job, I'm pissed. So where does that leave me? You're getting the same amount of money. So how are you discriminating? I mean, it's not logical. So if the women, say just hypothetically, the court said, oh yeah, the women, you're making, and you do. All the female officers here make less money than any other special patrol officer. But that's because school safety in itself is the lowest paid.
Right.
So you can't fix the women without fixing the men. But why are you signing a contract that you know is not giving you what you want? I don't understand that.
Yeah, we didn't agree to that.
It's like you're moving into an apartment you know you don't like, but you still sign the lease. Why would you sign it? You go look for something else. These are the things that you need to know. So he's not gonna. Has he had any meetings with you to actually explain this lawsuit to you?
They had a rally that you couldn't even really go to.
Exactly. They tell us we can't go, we can't take off. You know,
If you just take off, you got retaliation. You got
You know what they told the bosses before they told the members.
we didn't know about it.
My thing is this. If you don't like the contract and you think your members are underpaid, then damn it, fight to get them paid. Okay? I'm 50 years old. I remember when corrections didn't make no money. All right? Corrections didn't make no money. No one even wanted that job. But they make $76,000 a year. No overtime.
And we have to.
Sanitation. Sanitation. Can you pick up that trash, please? Oh, $69,000. Don't get me wrong. I love them. They do their job. They keep the city clean. But guys, if you think that you're not just as important as them, then you need to all leave and stay where you're at.
Because it don't make any sense that we have to do all this crazy overtime
Yep.
just to try to make ends meet, and we don't. We have families too. We spend most of our lives on these jobs.
His whole board is
People are
making.
dying on
His
these
whole
jobs.
board is making over 100,000. They just all got raises.
$20,000 rent, and we got a cat.
Don't get me wrong. If you run, let me tell you something. People say they want to get paid. Okay, then do your damn job. Be here when I get brought up on charges. Be here to protect me. Get me the things I need to do my job.
Exactly.
Okay? He's doing this with every group. TLC. Go out there and make a car stop. I'm a former state trooper. That's the hardest thing you want to do. Get blown away, run over, whatever. They go out there with no vests, no guns.
Wow.
7 out of 10 of their arrests,
They got to
they have to call PD. Because, yeah, let's talk. PD has to come and tell that guy, give me your license. Because they don't have no authority. So how the hell are they gonna do their job? But get this, they're the second revenue producing agency in the city of New York. They're bringing money in, and you still can't pay them.
Imagine us, we transporting inmates without vests and without weapons.
There you go.
Wow.
ACS. How many children? Y'all know. How many children in the city of New York? What's your squad? What's your total?
What, of us?
Yeah.
About 25 of us.
25 ACS
Yeah, but
officers.
not in a day. In a day, there's like only 7 of us in the morning and like,
And how many caseloads do you have?
well, we have like 100, well, sometimes 100 kids, you know, it depends, you know.
Understaffed. Understaffed.
Yeah, but these are high profile cases, not.
Yeah, but even the other cases that you read in the paper, okay? The one that you're all blamed for letting that child run out of here. Where was the union in? How you gonna cover every door? They tell you in case of a fire you have to keep the doors open. How you gonna stop a kid unless you have every single officer stand in front of every door? It's gonna happen. He had troubles. But I read all the time with you guys. Y'all get attacked. Schools are getting shot up all over the place. Where's your union? Talking about, hey, our officers need more money for what they do. The UFT just signed a contract. Some of their teachers will make over $100,000 a year. 100,000 of them is only 5,000 of you, but they only want to pay you $31,000.
Now, one of them would step foot in this building unless you were here.
Right about that.
They getting a $7,500 pay increase for working in the bad neighborhoods. Well, don't y'all gotta go work there? And don't you have to protect them from those bad people? So how come you don't have $7,500?
We don't get nothing. Paris.
There's no respect.
Well, first of all, they don't respect you, and that is true. But let me tell you something too, and respect goes both ways. Okay? Respect goes away, because when you with Leeba, it's about your mentality. Everything has to change. You have to respect yourself. You come to work in your uniform, you look good in your uniform, and you do your damn job, and you make them respect you. Because, you know, me and my mother argue all the time. I grew up in the projects. So she goes, oh, the cops don't respect us. They come here and they drive up on the grass, they knock out garbage over and shit. I said, well, why should they fucking respect you? Motherfuckers piss in the elevator, throw their garbage out the window. So when they come and they go, well, hey, I'll piss on the floor too and do other thing. That's the same thing here with your job. When you start respecting yourself and you make them respect you, then from there, we can fight forever. And that's what you have to do, and you have to be willing to fight. You can't come over halfway going, well, you know, because it's going to be tough. As soon as we say no to the city and say we want to go to arbitration, we want to start fighting for what you deserve, politically wise, anything.
Yep.
You're gonna get the feedback. But see, there's ways around that. And I don't care if it's on camera because the education department can know. Because if you actually did your job by the book, okay, there'd be a whole lot of people late for work, late for school, kids wouldn't be here, okay? The secrets. How do you think sanitation got their raise? They didn't strike. They did their job. Pick the garbage can up. I'm gonna set it down. Guess what? Half their tours weren't finished. Garbage was piling up all over the place.
They did their job.
Okay.
As per the job description.
Corrections, the same thing. As a trooper, when I brought people in, okay, go ahead, trooper. Don't worry about it. But when they have to do their job by the book, I could be there for hours. Well, we got to do this, we got to do that. And they got what they want. Listen, I went up in DHS, and I went to their bathroom. I wouldn't use that bathroom. And that's for the officers. There's a thing called PESH. There's a thing called OSHA.
Yeah.
Okay? We use everything that we could use to help you. EEO, the courts, we don't have a problem suing. We don't care. We're fighting for you. Okay? And just show you how desperate Local 237 can get. After CUNY put that brief in, and one of the officers is here now, Officer Livingston, she's a sergeant. They came to her. They sent the business agents to her, and they told her, get 5 people to lie that you don't do law enforcement work.
Yo.
Ms. Livingston. Ms. Livingston. Did you tell them what the business agent said to you?
Already, I just.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, my God.
Tell them who you are and tell them exactly what your business agents told you.
Well, good morning. I'm a little frazzled because I just come from the train, but, I couldn't believe that I had a business agent call me on my personal cell phone and ask me to lie at the hearing. She said, I need you to do me a favor. I said, sure, whatever, if it's something I can do, I'll do it. She said, I need you to testify at the hearing that you guys don't do arrests and that you don't do investigations. I said, well, you just insulted my intelligence and you just disrespected all of the officers who do this job. You've got to be kidding me. I do that every day. We all do it every day. She said, well, I still need 5 people. I said, well, I definitely won't be one of them. And I said, I'm really upset. It made me so upset. So I called Mr.
And
Love.
you used to be who? You used to be a shop steward?
Well, I am a shop steward for 237.
But you didn't even want to see a building, right?
Just let me give you a little history there. You know, I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm a sergeant for CUNY, and I've been a shop steward for the whole entire time. And, you know, people talk this Leeba stuff, and I said, well, who are they? I don't know who they are. I needed to do my investigation so I can make sure that we get what we're supposed to get. That's what this is all about. And, you know, I did my investigation, but after I realized that I'm with a union who wants me to be a liar, and I'm a peace officer. You've got to be kidding me. So that made me upset. And that's how I ended up calling Mr. Luck,
There-
and I sent
So,
this
they're 80 hours from being full-fledged cops.
yeah.
All right, when we take them over, we will get that form, because 40 of those hours are firearms. So once they're all allowed to carry firearms, all they gotta do is take one more class and they become cops. Okay? And the same thing for you. Doesn't matter whether you're a cop under the CPL. As long as you do police-like functions, that's what counts. So what you do is not who you are anymore. Since 9/11, things have changed.
Yes.
And we are law enforcement officers, regardless of what anybody wants to say. You know, you put your life on the line every day because you have no idea what's gonna happen when you go to work. You know, we can laugh and we can giggle and we can joke with each other, but when we get there, you know, if that fight is down the hall, I don't know if those people have guns, I don't know what they have. So
We
they're
do deal with the
outside.
streets every day
Correct.
with the gangs. And like for instance, we like 3 months ago, in my building in 167 in Morris 22 is mostly we the hub of the gang. Okay. Now across the street, they were going to stab this kid. Myself and you know I'm a sergeant for NYPD school safety, and my officer. We went outside with the cop. The cop had to draw his gun to tell the dude to drop the knife, and he was still swinging at the boys. The boys fled. He had the knife. The cops put the guns. We tackled him from the back, and we brought him down. And we helped them do the arrest.
But just remember that you live your life every day as an officer, every day. So that's my life. That's how I live my life. When I go out, I'm an officer. And I gotta tell you, you know, I've been dealing with Leeba for the past couple of months. They have done more for our officers than 237 has done in the past 18 years that I've been here.
So
So
we're not even representing them yet.
that's correct.
We had a female officer who sexual harassed, and she lost her job. On her own, she took the initiative and she filed a human rights complaint. She got a probable cause. She went back to the union, they told her we can't help her. We got in touch with our attorneys, he made one phone call, she's going back to work. And she got her back pay. Okay.
Thanks to these guys.
Health and hospital police, same thing. They weren't getting paid overtime. Now, you all do a lot of overtime, right? Lincoln Hospital. Lincoln Hospital. All right?
Cap now.
Our sergeant at arms and our membership coordinator, Laquan Word, called up Lincoln Hospital, and they said, what's going on? They weren't getting their money. So they called the union. He told them, call your union. Because, you know, call your union. Call 237. Oh, yeah, well, that's wrong. We'll get on it. Never got on it. 2 weeks later, no overtime in the checks. Call the union again. Oh, don't worry about it. Pay you when you want to pay. Laquan went down. That's Laquan Word right there. He made one phone call to the director. He said, I'm coming to see you. Came in with one sheet of paper. I bet you none of y'all guess what that sheet of paper was. He told me, he said, this sheet of paper, I'm going to have all the members sign it, and they're going to file it if you don't pay them their overtime. Anybody tell me what that paper was? No, it wasn't even an agreement. Called Department of Labor. It's against the law to withhold somebody's overtime that they've earned.
Really?
One paper. Okay? And Laquan, what happened?
You can step over here, sir. Thank you.
Got a call back from Hospital Police Director Maglano, right? And he said, well, I know you're not the collective bargaining representative for hospital police. I said, we don't have to be, we didn't have to be because we're advocates. We can advocate on behalf of the officers of Lincoln Hospital and any other hospital within the city of New York, first and foremost. And anybody who's been watching what's going on through media outlets lately know that even undocumented citizens in restaurants have won successful cases when they weren't paid overtime. I don't care whether you are a citizen, whether you have a green card or not. If you're working for an employer within the state of New York, you work over in excess of 40 hours in the work week, you don't get paid for it, it is illegal. If you go on the New York State Department of Labor's website, it tells you the same exact thing. So what I did was I relayed to him that, listen, what we are going to do is individually file a complaint with the New York State Department of Labor, and in turn, what they're going to do is contact Health and Hospital Corporation. They're not going to call the particular site Lincoln. They will call the headquarters, the employer, and they're going to speak to individuals over there, and this is how it's going to get done. So within the next week, 2 weeks or so, you got the executive director of the hospital and the hospital police director coming around asking all the officers, well, did you receive your overtime? And it was just a simple matter of the executive director signing off on the overtime slips, so it was approved. So how do you mandate people to do overtime who, in all actuality, don't really want to do the excessive overtime, but then you don't pay them for it? You're mandating it. If I'm going home to my wife and kids, I got something to do, and you stick me, and then you don't want to pay me for it, I believe that's a problem. I believe in justice. I believe in what's fair and equitable. I used to work for Teamsters Local 237 for 4 years in employees in the membership department. I used to also, at the age of 20, I was the chief steward for the clerical and security staff, as well as negotiated contracts there, 2 contracts before I left in 2008. So I do understand what they do there. They attempted to intimidate myself, not only myself, but their own staff. And these are people, when Carl was there, they used to have a family day. So on the one hand, you can talk to my kids and me when we had the family day, and then the next day you're trying to intimidate me, right? These are the kind of people that you have.
Yeah.
These people are sick, they're vindictive, and they do anything to keep their foot on your neck. Because these people don't care. When you go to Teamsters, we got paid every week. We got paid well, right? So when Greg goes every week to get paid to that amalgamated bank, just know he's putting your money in his pocket and he doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
So if I was eating well, imagine how he was eating. In excess of $3,000 per week after taxes. So think about that. Every time you got to go to work and every time you got to figure out how you're going to rob Peter to pay Paul, just think about what he's pulling down every week while you're getting paid bi-weekly trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills. Just think about it in terms of that, you know, because I know you suffer a lot of abuse at the hands of NYPD as well as the students themselves, and in some cases principals and some of the faculty and administration there. But listen, understand that that's temporary. So long you're going to be able to suppress and oppress people. Because look, nobody figured they would be here today talking about making a move. And it's only going to happen when you allow it to happen. So if you allow yourself to be abused and disrespected, that's what people are going to do forever.
Yes.
If everybody from school safety decided one day, listen, we're going to walk up in Local 237 and we're going to shut it down, that's what's going to happen. Because we have dictated that move. You get what I'm saying? So right now, at this present time, they're dictating the course of action. But when we start saying, no, we're not going to take that, no, we're not going to allow that to happen, school safety in itself can overturn this upcoming election in September. Let's start calling them and telling them, ask for Gigi, ask for the Mayors, ask for everybody, every day, call and ask for Greg, and tell them you won't be voting for him. Tell them you decertify and see what kind of response you get back. Everybody, every day, every 5-10 minutes, give him a call.
That's what he does.
He yells.
Question, because I never know when there's an election, because I don't get anything from my union. I have yet to even get my union card. I don't have anything, and I'm supposed to.
When we finish,
Did you get an email last night by any chance?
No.
well, before we do that, I'm gonna have you
Last
speak
night.
to Aaron.
Well, where?
Who got an email? Nobody got an email from last night? No? Everybody fill out cards yet, or no? If you filled out cards and you put your email on it, you should have been getting something. If not, all right, I'm gonna pass something around. I just wanna catch your email. Put your,
This is
put
Aaron
your
with that.
agency,
He's from
email address.
Independent Health, because we've been accused of not having a pharmacist prescription plan, and that you have to pay $1,500 out of your pocket before coverage starts kicks in. Oh yeah, this is the letters Greg Floyd sending out. That I would insult you by telling you to come into my union and spend $1,500 out of your hard-earned money before you get it free. Okay,
didn't get an email,
he's
just
going to
fill that
explain
out.
everything to you. Aaron, welcome.
Sounds like a tough job you guys have. I don't think I could do it. But, yeah, I'm here basically to just talk for a few minutes about the prescription drug plan we have in place that I've been working with Leeba since inception, 2008, when we put this plan together. There's no deductible on this plan. And its ease of use is pretty thorough. You can go to any pharmacy, just about any pharmacy, Wayne Reed, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, local pharmacies. We needed it to be easy, so you could walk in, just give your card, no deductible, and it has a very nice copay or cost-sharing arrangement. I don't know what you have now, but with this plan, drugs are broken into different categories based on the type of drug, which are all listed in this guide, which I'll leave for you guys. If anybody wants to take a look at it, they're welcome to. If they want it digital, I'll leave a lot of cards. You're welcome to email me and Kenny Occasion, I'll send you the whole thing in digital. But when you go to the pharmacy, you pay $10, you pay $20, and you pay $40. It's not a 10, 30, 90 copay system. And as I say, it works with any pharmacy. There's no deductibles. And they cover things, you know, asthma, they'll cover contraceptives. I mean, this is a full-blown major medical type formulary. The drugs they cover, it's thorough. And this guide is pretty nice because it shows you not only what drug it is, but it shows you what your copay is. And this can be emailed, and we can put it up on the Leeba website or whatever Kenny wants to do so that it's accessible to everybody. And we, absolutely, yes, we have an exception process, so there's a specific drug that you're taking or that family member is taking and it's not in the formulary. We have the flexibility with approval of the board to add them. So it's not so rigid that we can't customize it on a go-forward basis. There's a lot of flexibility in this plan. And it wasn't an easy plan to find, but Independent Health was rated quite highly, and that's why Leeba chose to do business with us. If you guys would like, I'm happy to look up any drugs for you while I'm here. But if you want to take a look at the formulary, you're welcome to, as I say. And I'll leave a lot of business cards here, so if anybody wants to contact me, they have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I'm sure I'll be attending another meeting or so, as I think there's a couple of these scheduled.
Yeah, we have a schedule.
But, yes.
No, I wanted to find out more or less, how many numbers do we have so far?
We have now about a little over 400, almost 500 cards. If you have friends, they can go online. We have a very elaborate setup. You can go online and sign an authorization card, use your mouse pad to sign it, comes right to us. So you don't have to be afraid taking a card. There's certain people who get, the young lady who helped us get to school today, Local 237 called her and was yelling and screaming at her and threatening her because she was allowing us to come up in here. Is she here, Beatrice?
She hiding somewhere.
Did they not call yelling and screaming at you?
Come over here, B. Come over here.
Come over here. You see?
Beatrice, over here. Over here.
I mean, I know 237 is here, and I'm grateful, because I did tell Mr. Cotto, if he represents me, then show up. Exactly. Right here, right here. That's what he shows. We all, if he's gonna represent, then this is the time to do it. Hi. So,
Right here.
No, okay. But
I'll turn the camera around.
what she did was she took the power back.
I knew they wasn't gonna come in.
Because that's what, but see, they're gonna yell and intimidate you, but once you stand up to them, what are they gonna do?
What's up, man?
All right? We also have
That's the mayor.
Officer PV, who's a DP officer now.
Whoa, man.
Be school
Whoa,
safe.
man. You on camera,
What's up, man?
Phil, Frank, pleasure to be here today. It's good to see some of my comrades who we've been through wars and some of the hideous situations you could ever expect. The one thing I will say, though, it's your time is due. The time is now. This is a rough economy. There's a lot of hideous acts going on in these public schools, and there's nobody advocating for you. And the money situation is horrific. When I left, I was making 31. I came back and find out we still making 31. That's got to change. The one thing I will say about Leeba is you're going to get a fair shake. It's going to be your union. With DEP, it's our union, hand in hand. No corruption here. No corruption. No, this is my man's now. Here's something under the table. None of that here. What you get is what you get. Recognized. You're going to be recognized. Line of duty. How many times we ran in and took guns, knives, fought people with scalpels?
Right.
Why did you do that? You know what? I'm giving you 5 days. Instead of, advocating for you and saying, yo, you did a damn good job. Nah, we going to the table. Supervisors who have malice, who don't care about you, who have nepotism. Straight up, nah, that's my man's. Nah, you gotta go back to the school. You got an emergency situation, you can't go. I've given you 30 days, abandonment of post. It's crazy. It's crazy and it goes on and on and on. Yes, sir.
Can you explain, when you went to DEP, was you in local 300 at that time?
Yeah, when we...
Okay, when you went to you was local 300 and you was transferred over to Leeba, how long did your benefits took in place? Did you lose your benefits? Because that's what they saying to our members. And let them know about that, PV, please, ma'am.
Sure, no problem. When I went over to DEP, I was 35 years of age. I was tight with school safety because I did everything in school safety. I mean everything. When it came to arrest, I was the first there, the last to leave. When it came to fixing schools, I was the first, the last to leave. And we had a camaraderie. Bronx West Command was tight. Parties. Yeah, we used to do so much great things, and if you had a collar, we were the first there, the last to leave. You was never up by yourself, I could say that. And if you was a female agent, no kid ever got in your face and disrespected you. Nobody. We ain't tolerate that. That's how we was. And these brothers right here can contest to that, because we whipped a lot of ass. Knives, guns, you name it, we did it. We ain't care, brainless, straight up. Taking guns off kids and smiling about it. It's crazy. But as far as the transition, as soon as we switched over to labor, everything kicked into effect. Everything jump-started. You're going to hear a lot of disarray. You're going to hear a lot of opinions. You're going to hear a lot of people telling you a lot of things. But you got to do what's right in your heart. And I had to do what was right in my heart. Because believe me, if I had to go back in time, I'm glad I did it. And I didn't want to leave school safety. I wanted to stay. I loved the job. And if I was to retire from this, I would go back to school safety. Because that's how much I am about school safety. Because you're helping these kids out there who need people like y'all to guide them, to tell them, to service them, to de-escalate situations, to be role models. Sometimes a kid can't identify with that brother from Scarsdale. He might need you. You know what I'm saying?
Right about that.
And then you got a police unit. You are law enforcement personnel, officers. You deserve that, yo. You deserve the top offer. Me personally, you deserve the top offer, 75,000 starting if it was up to me, straight up. Line of duty. There's no line of duty. You need line of duty. You're not special patrolmen. You're peace officers, for God's sakes. We used to have 17, 18, 19 arrests. Cops used to look at us like, yo, what, you crazy? Next. Yo, you got that? Oh, I got that. You got that? I got that. All right. The borough would be like this. And they would move up and move up and move up. And nobody advocate for the people who put in the work. And you know the things that we did. Oh my God, nobody will ever know.
Yes, sir.
Eugene Williams, Kitty Stout.
We had a 13 on Tuesday. Nobody could back us. We was out there, it was like a movie. In the middle of Jackson Avenue and 149, in the Portland, we had a 13. It was crazy.
One of our guys,
Crazy.
Bronx East Adam went over there. I heard
Yeah, y'all responded. But I'm saying the situation was like something in a movie. It was just hilarious.
And no matter what.
Back in the days, that would have never happened.
Never. We had
Never happened.
task force rolled up, 2 people came out of a van. What is that? What is that? 2 of us out of a van.
They won't even.
Back in the days when we had task forces, 9, 10 of us rolling in a van. 2 of us roll up, coming out of a van. What we gonna do? What 2 of us gonna do? Come on. And then you don't want to give us no bodies? We can't.
But then they don't even want to pay you for your service. That's crazy. I'm just saying this, and I'm not nobody.
Yeah, right, yeah. They tell us we don't do anything.
They tell us we don't do nothing. They always tell us that.
The one thing I will say that you guys have, you have the camaraderie. You have the unity. But the problem is there's so many multifacets that are in this business of security that it makes it a little bit difficult. But I say one thing that you have that a lot of people don't have, you have the camaraderie. And we have the camaraderie, like with DEP police. The one thing I can say about DEP police, and I mean this from sincerely in my heart, is that you're unified. Everybody has your back. It ain't like if we run out to a situation, we're trained to deal with a situation. If we have to have backup, we're trained to have backup. You know, and you guys, I'm telling you, you're the most resilient people that do this job on a day-to-day. Some of the circumstances that you go into are crazy, because I've been there. Guns, knives, 180 kids going crazy, and you're like, oh my God, let's handle this. And you just handle it. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a good time. I can't, you know, I'm not here for nepotism. I'm not getting paid to do this. I do this because I love this job. And I love a lot of you folks in there because I've been with a lot of you folks in there. So there's no bullshit with me. But some of the things that I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true, it could be hearsay, so I'm not gonna comment on. But I'm saying if you really wanna make a change, you wanna make a difference, let's do this. It's a great man right here. I stand by. And all these men. Safety, baby.
Going good,
I gotta control it sometimes, because, you know. I'm like, calm down, man. He's not in negotiations, because he'll be happy. But he's good though. But he's telling you the truth. This will be your union. We will be coming to the schools. You will have your own delegates, just like NYPD elected here. You will elect your delegate. No more business agents that work for the man who's paying him. Okay? I had a situation with one of the other officers. Well, you know, this used to be a business agent. I said, and he used to run back to the office. I said, well, let me get this straight. If I'm paying you $85,000 a year, you're gonna do what I tell you to do, or I'm gonna fire you. What do you think he's gonna do if I instruct him that that's his job? I mean, let me tell you something. We went to one site, and the guy pulled me aside. He goes, you know what? I used to get on my shop steward all the time. You don't do shit for us. You're an asshole. And the shop steward used to say, guy, I'm trying. No, you're not. So he ran for shop steward. But guess what he says? It wasn't the shop steward. Because when the shop steward goes back to the union, it's up to the union to take it from there. Okay? You guys will be trained as delegates. Our lawyers will come in and physically train you how to do your job. Because I need you to do your job on the front line before I get there. Because I'm not there 24/7, okay? And what I mean by that is, shut your fucking mouth. Something happened, zip it. I need a union rep. And I'm not saying nothing until a union rep gets here. Okay? They want to press charges against you, criminal, whatever. Keep your mouth shut. And he'll tell you. I get mad at the guys. I had one officer, and I kid you not, I wanted to strangle him. You know? Fortunately, he got fired. But let me tell you his mentality. I hear he's going to be terminated. So I call up. What's going on? Nothing. What's going on? I hear they want to terminate. Yeah, they're talking about it. Well, for what? I fell asleep at the car. Okay, you fell asleep at the wheel and you crashed? Yeah, okay. And that's why they want to terminate you? Well, did you get arrested? Yeah. When was you going to call me? Listen, we here, I don't judge anybody. Okay? This is my motto. Let me tell you what law is all about. It's about defending you, whether you're right or wrong, to make sure you get no more, no less than what you deserve. So if you're guilty, tell me what happened, and we're going to come in there and try to do the best we can. Okay? Now, I'm not selling anybody else down the river because I want to cut a deal for this person, because what happens when you start cutting deals, the next time you get in trouble and they don't like you, they're going to tell the union, stay out of this. Remember when we helped, what you call it? So, hey, be accountable for what you do. If you fucked up, you fucked up. But you call me, you let me know, and we'll start minimizing the damage, okay? I'll give you an example. First case we had when we came on the job, a sergeant is watching porn in front of the women, making comments. They file a lawsuit. They want to fire him now. First thing we do when we come in, now he's wrong, I understand that. They want to demote him, take his rank, and first they wanted to fire him, but then they wanted to demote him. We got him down to 90 days on the beach, and he kept his rank. And let me tell you why. First question we asked DEP was, did you give any EEO training? Well, if you didn't give EEO training, then you can't hold him responsible for discriminating against somebody. That's why you see EEO nowadays. All your officers, everybody has to be trained in EEO so that you're held accountable. But this is how we fight for you. Don't be scared to call up and say, hey, I fucked up. I was a cop, I made mistakes. But let's take care of it. Let's not make it worse. Don't lie, because if they catch you in a lie, now I can't help you. Just keep your mouth shut until we get there. We will help you. We're going to have a discipline book sent out for you. You will be trained. You'll go through a course with the attorneys. He'll tell you what to say, what not to say. Tell you your rights that your members have, because you have rights. Okay? How many times your union tell you, take the deal? Take one for the team. Because they want to fight. Oh, let me tell you something. Let me explain it. Again, listen, let me tell you something. This is about money. Every time you take a case and you move it forward, it costs money. When you go down the oath, it costs money. Okay? And one of the biggest problems that you have is you have no discipline in your contract. Anybody know what I'm talking about? No. When you look at NYPD's contract, state police, DEP, it's called progressive discipline. You did something wrong, don't do it again. That's a verbal. You do something different the next day. Don't do that either. That's a verbal. If you do it again, I'm going to write you up. And if you do it again, now I can bring charges against you. Progressive discipline. It is a discipline contract. What you have and what Local 237 does, they want to use grievances to fight discipline. Grievances are for only when something is not right with your contract. If they violate the contract, that's the only time you can use a grievance. It's not if you get in trouble. So basically what's happening to you is you're falling under civilian rules under the Board of Education. That's what they're using to punish you. Because you don't have any, you're not centralized. And what I mean by being centralized is you need to be centralized. You need to have a standard operating procedure where every school's run the same. That's how the cops do it. That's how the state police do it. That's how NYPD do it. Any house you roll up in, everything runs the same. And that's how you should be. It's 5,000 of you. You're big, you're strong. And that's the way it should be. And when you talk about that, all we want to do is protect you to the best of your ability. You know what? There's ways. You know what? Whether it's not, but that's our job. You get drunk, you crash your car, you didn't hurt nobody, you go into the tank for 30 days. NYPD does it all the time.
Give them counseling.
Give them counseling. But we're here to help you. We all make mistakes. You're going to get young kids on this job that don't know what they got. You know, and the one thing we want to stop here is this transition bullshit. Everybody, you train them, they get used to the job, and what do? They fly off to another department. Because all this is a stopping ground. You know? And that's the way they want to keep it because they don't have to pay you. Oh, we go get a job somewhere else. We don't want you to. Why shouldn't you? If you like this job, the hours are good, no weekends, summer's off. Why not? Hey, like the teachers. We work so.
All year round.
Weekends too.
If you want, I'll put that in your contract, all right?
Just keep failing in there. You gotta keep coming in.
I'll ask for it. I'll say they want summers off too, just like the teachers. But see, but all these things, there's summer school, yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of summer school. But all these things we're talking about here, we're gonna have meetings like this, and you're gonna tell me what y'all want. Is it really hurt to ask the city for these things? Even if they said no, at least we're asking, we're trying. There's ways to get things, trust me. Council, let me tell you something. The one thing you will have done here, and y'all can be mad all you want, but everyone will fill out a voter registration card. I don't care if you vote or not, but you can fill out one. Because see, when I go to those politicians, check that out. Your school's in every district. We had our gala, Paul Vallone was there, and he gave a shout out to Frank Sinatra, that's where his kid goes. Well, school safety's over there. So all these politicians want to talk shit, don't want to help, get on the bandwagon and help you. I don't think they'll like it if their kids aren't protected when they go to school.
Hello.
Okay? But you can't help them unless they get something from you. And what they get from you is your vote. Whether you vote for them or not, but when they look in the file and I say, here's 5,000 people who have families, cousins, sisters, brothers, kids, that can make 50,000 people. That can sway on an election, depending on what district you are and how many people you have in the school. Okay? You have to exercise the rights that you have at your disposal. And that's what we do. We want to get you guys education. You know, like CUNY gets free education. Y'all don't have no incentives here. You know, you need that. Everybody has to have incentive at their job. Even the state police had, you know, once in a while we pick a couple of people, send them for their masters, send them for this and that. We pay for it. Educate them, bring them up the ranks. CUNY officers have become directors. You have to be able to go somewhere. You know, we want to get you all these programs, every training you can get, terrorist training. The government pays for this stuff. We just have to find a way to get you there, but the Board of Ed can get you there. The union can help you. If we have 5 people set for a terrorist training class, we'll send those 5, they get certified. Guess what? They come back, they train you. That's what we want. We want to look to the future, not to the past. You know, Local 237 had you since 1998, when you were formed, and he has done nothing with you. He has not progressed this job. You are still in the Stone Ages with rocks and stuff, and with everything that you don't have that you should have now. You know, if they don't want to give you guns in the school, you should have guns anyway when you leave. Put them in a damn locker. But you should have tasers, because I don't care. I'll tase a little bit. I don't care. Sorry. A lot of kids going like this. Because their parents don't teach them nothing. I'm sorry. All right? They have no respect before they even get to you.
Gotta tase some of these parents.
So, well, them too. You got to deal with them too.
Crackhead parents coming here talking about
Well, unfortunately, this is what we have at stake. I need your help. I'm going to all those schools. You know that 20-80 rule, right? Only 20% of people are going to do the work for everybody, and 80% are going to be your lazy ones that's going to come along. All right? That's the way it is in life. Even in elections, 30% of people only vote. So, but the other 70% sit there and complain. Yeah. Okay? So you need to reach out to your partner, tell them, listen, I have my number. And if y'all don't believe me, if y'all want to try me, every single one in here call me. Within the week, I will get back to every single one of you. Email me. Damn phone's right here. The office is right here, people. I don't need to sit behind the desk. Oh, I missed the call. No, the office is right here. I will get back to you. But what I need you to do is call up your friends. All I'm asking you is to get enough cards to force an election. You don't have to vote for Leeba, but force your election, and that sends a message to him telling him, listen, we're taking back our job. Because he's took your job away from you. Okay, now he was health and hospital police. And he don't do anything for them. We actually do some of their cases now. We had one case, the business agent shows up, they're prosecuting him for a 2-year-old case. Well, civil service law says after 18 months you can't prosecute. So what are you doing? And she's going along with it. Because she's told to go along with it. Where's the documentation? Where's the work? We had a CUNY officer, because he helped Leeba out, now the CUNY turns on him and tells him, you're being demoted out of your rank, and you're going to lose your pay. So he goes in, they give him notice 35 minutes before he's supposed to go in. He goes, oh. He goes, do you want me to go in, Kenny? I said, no, we'll get our attorneys over there. So he goes in, and the woman says, we're going to demote you, we have these complaints against you and everything, and that's the final thing. So he goes, do I have representation? He goes, yeah. So she goes, and he goes, and it won't be Local 237. So she goes, what, it's going to be Leeba? He said, that's none of your business, don't worry about it. By the time he got back, 20 minutes later, she called and told him, well, we're not going to demote you if you just take, we're not going to demote your rank, no, your pay, but we're still going to demote you. She says, I'm not taking that. I have my attorney reach out to you. Now they call him and tell him, well, we're not going to do anything. Because, one, you have these grievances, then how come I wasn't informed? Listen, you're cops. You're investigators. When you bring somebody up on charges, I had to do these reports. You got to do an investigation. So, well, who did you speak to? Is this woman or this person coming forward to say that this happened? I get my say. That's the law, right? I believe you have a right to accuse your accuser. I mean, confront your accuser. Before you can demote me, you got to find me guilty. But this is what they do, and Local 237 allows this. This procedure, you have due process. That's why we have attorneys there, because you know what the attorneys tell them? You know you violated my client's due process rights, right? Now that takes that from an administrative case to a civil case. That's a lawsuit. And they don't want that. And we started representing health and hospital, even though we're not the collective bargaining. You know, and you're gonna find out when we take over, there's gonna be a spike. DP, there was a spike, there was a spike in discipline. But when we showed up with attorneys every time and started taking them the oath and we was winning, now they call me before they bring one of my persons up on charges. He'll tell you. Yolanda, she said she's a delegate. They'll call her and say, oh, we just got messed up, we're gonna do this. Do what you gotta do. I always tell them that. Don't call and try and, no, do what you have to do, but I'm gonna fight for my member. No matter what, you can call me all you want and give me a heads up, thank you very much. But that's how this works. Okay? The city is fighting against you too. Okay? Give you an example. The city filed an appeal for this election coming up, but it's not stopping it. And in this election, in the appeal, you can go on the website and see it. Paragraph 59. The city says, Leeba should not have these represent these groups because, quote, their collective bargaining goals differ from Local 237. Black and white. And that would cause litigation. Now, how do you know what goals Local 237 has unless you already told them you ain't taking them to arbitration, you ain't doing this shit. You ain't gonna be preaching that law enforcement stuff to them. Okay, you've been in law enforcement division how long, Local 237? Now they went out and hired your money again, hired 3 ex-NYPD cops to go around and tell you, oh, we're law enforcement people. We went to a CUNY graduation, they hadn't been there in years. We were there, guess who showed up for the first time? Local 237. Health and hospital police just violated them, just destroyed them. The class graduated, they didn't even give them a graduation. ceremony. How can you do that? That's one of the best honors is to get your shield after you left the academy. And they don't have what you call them? Come on. These are the tactics that he's going to use because it's all about money. The teachers brag about it, how much money they have. You see it. They take trips to Las Vegas. They don't take care of you guys.
Atlantic City.
Half a
Okay.
$1 billion
And it's a
building in
shit-
downtown Manhattan.
Oh, the building must have cost millions. They still got to pay taxes on it. And what are they doing with it? Y'all not getting a cut of that. There's a lot of things I want to do. I want to institute daycare centers. You have enough schools around here. You got enough space. Say, hey, listen, city. This room is for these 7, 8 schools. These mothers drop their kids off and they pick them up when they go home.
Yeah, that's another situation.
Well, some schools got that. Some have
We busy
it.
taking care of other people's kids, when we have kids of our own that we need to take care of, but we
We-
can't
we-
go
we-
and take care of our own.
I know. We're going to fight for CUNY too. They actually have daycare for the students. Well, if you can have for the students, you can have for the officers. But these are the things that
What about the longevity?
longevity. All right, listen, guys. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This is so funny. This is what I talk about fighting. If you had just the longevity that NYPD had, your salary would go up $5,639 after 5 years. $8,000 after 20. Just for longevity. All right? That's why we want to take you to arbitration and ask for the things, and you'll get it. Okay? Because longevity is the one thing that we all do. All you have to do is be there. Now, they may try and say, because it's the city, well, their job is more hazardous and blah, blah. No, it's not. And even if it was, even if you didn't get the whole 5,000, the arbitrator has to give you some of it. Even if you got 3 or 4, that's $3,000, $4,000 more on top of your base. And what happens with that is now, every time you're getting raises, your raises are worth more. Okay? Because right now, this 111 you got, that's $2,100. That's before taxes.
The other thing, as far as like the pay, as far as the pay scales and everything go, as far as like the difference between a level 1, level 2, level 3, what is going on as far as that goes? Because I want to ask, because I am a sergeant level 3 in this division, and most people don't even want to do this position because the money.
There's no pay. I grant it. Okay, but until you get a law enforcement contract, let me explain something to you. First of all, you should be like NYPD, not assignment levels.
Right,
You should take a test
right.
and you move into that title.
Correct.
Okay? NYPD has a $10,000 gap between an officer and a sergeant. And then within that sergeant, what we call increments pay, a 5-year sergeant makes $10,000 more than that first-year sergeant. So basically, you're talking after 5, 6 years, you're talking 20 grand. That's why you do the job. The more bullshit, the more you pay me. Same thing for lieutenants. But you're never going to get this as long as you stay in a civil contract,
But the
civilian contract.
supervisors got the same race as, because they're in UFT.
Yeah, that's another
So
thing.
what
They got
the
different
teachers
unions.
get, that's what they get.
He's negotiating hard. Don't you see him? He's waiting for UFT. Listen, I've sat with the commissioners. I've fought with Hanley. I've been in arbitrations, negotiations. I got my contract because I fought for it. I didn't let somebody else go in there and dictate what I was going to get. We have uniform pattern. We got 544. When we go back in July, they're going to finish up our award. We're going to get the rest of the 404, the longevity, the increments, everything that was the judge granted us. The city's going to implement it.
So you know that spells to a $10,000 raise per member.
And our members now at $50,000 a year as of 2008. By the time we finish their contract, they'll be well over 70 grand. So this is the first contract. One contract. It took a while, but it's one contract. But you have to make your stand on that one contract. When you come out and you're now on your own, that's when you make your stand. Because let me tell you something. This is the key too. For the first time, if you come out with Leeba, you will decide whether you want your contract or not. Nobody else. Not housing, nobody else. If you veto it, you don't get it. You will ratify it. You will have your own contract that you can open and read and go, school safety, police, not agent. I hate that agent word.
School bar, like they say.
Right? Yeah.
And group leader.
You open it up, and we're going to ask for a lot of things. I can tell you this right now. All of you who grandfathered in, that's fine, everything, but we want 30 college credits. then we're gonna up it to 60. Because the more requirements and the more qualifications that you have to come on the job, you can demand more money. Okay? That's why they don't respect you. They think one of the school safety agents called me up and said, Kenny, I had a fight with the head of the department. And he goes, he said disrespected me. He goes, well, you know, you guys don't have no education. So he said, well, NYPD for years didn't need college credits. When I was state police, I didn't need college credits. That didn't mean I was stupid. But see, that's how they view you. And I'm being honest.
Yeah, we know.
Okay?
We know.
And let me tell you something. Y'all have to get in the mindset of protecting yourselves. No one's gonna look out for you but yourself. Okay? You wanna know why they disrespect you? Think about it. They don't do this to corrections. They don't do this to NYPD. They don't do this to anyone, especially fire department. Okay? And I'm sorry, because they think the makeup, most of your women, I hear the stories. Well, they're just, you know, mothers looking for a part-time job. I hear all the stories. They don't respect you. But that stops. When you come into Leeba, that stops. Listen, if you're willing to fight, we'll fight. I'll have TV trucks at you tell me what's going on, I'll make sure the public knows, because I'm quite sure the public won't let their kids come into school when they know shit's going on.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm quite sure a lot of your reports never make it to the paper. A lot of your
Never.
reports aren't even written up. But what I'll tell you to do is make copies, send it to the union. See, I don't work for them. I don't work for them. They're not going to call me up and tell me, I'm going to take your pension from you. Or I'm going to send you back. When you get back, we're going to fire you. Because I have newspapers. You can Google me. Go online. I'll tell you in a minute your water ain't safe. It's not. It's not protected. Have you ever been up the Yonkers Raceway? See that big giant water? That's the largest outdoor swimming pool New York City has. But that's your drinking water. Already treated, and from there it goes to your faucet. So bird shit in it, people throw shit in it. You can do what they want in it. Am I right, Yolanda? PV, am I right? Am I right? Right? It's treated water. It's just sitting there, right? You see it every day. Okay? I've been on TV, I cry, I complain, but they get mad. Finally now they starting to put fences up, they put cameras up, whatever. Alright? But that's what we can do here. Because see, here, you take care of the most precious thing besides like DP, water, you take care of kids. And if you're not doing your job, these kids will get hurt, they won't be able to go to school. That's how your job is important, and that's what we have to use to go forward. Alright, so what I need your help is, please, call your friends, tell them, listen, if they have questions, tell them to call. Tell them to call Leeba, 518 number. His email comes right to me, call you back. All you have, my personal number, on my cards, I don't have any left, but just call. And we'll get back to you. PV will tell you, because PV will be helping with the transition when we take you over because he knows the job.
There's a thing with school safety, and this is what I see. I've noticed this for years. Everybody's stuck, I call it the DOE syndrome, as far as in the NYPD syndrome. I came under NYPD.